Violent protests over rappers' arrests and accusations of police brutality rock Catalonia for fifth day. From CNN, published on Sunday, February 21st, 2021. All right, let's get into this piece here. And angry protesters have now gathered in multiple Spanish cities for 5 consecutive nights, demonstrating over the dramatic arrest of rapper Pablo Hasél earlier in the week. Thousands gathered in Barcelona on Saturday, including families and elderly protesters at the city's Plaça Universitat, where a rally began peacefully. After passing another square called Plaça Unicaria, I want to say. I hope I didn't butcher that too bad. Police began beating protesters. Berta Gilofre Pons, a 23-year-old political scientist, told CNN. Footage from the Barcelona protests on Saturday shows multiple scuffles between demonstrators and police. Mossos d'Esquadra, the Catalan police force, said in a tweet that they rerouted the protests and that a group of demonstrators split from the main crowd, attacking the Barcelona Stock Exchange before vandalizing and looting shops. This group burned motorcycles and erected barricades before firefighters arrived on the scene, said officers. Mossos arrested 34 people on Saturday, taking the total for the week close to 100. Wow. So in just a week, they arrested 100 people. Wow. Things are getting kind of heated, man. Again, the things that we're doing in the United States and in some of the protests, it's spreading across the world. I mean, you saw this in freaking Tunisia, Nigeria. You saw this in almost every country, freaking Africa. You saw this in the Middle East. You saw it in Asia. You see it in Russia. You're seeing it everywhere. Again, people are getting tired of their local police, messing with them. And from what you're seeing, this is getting real spicy, man. It's getting real spicy. Video from the latest arrest shows the defiant rapper shouting, "You will never defeat us. You will never overcome us. We will resist until we are victorious." Hasél had until February 12th to hand himself into the police after Spain's Supreme Court in May 2020 upheld a lower court's conviction in May 2018 against the rapper, whose full name is Pablo Revolt Duro. The conviction was for supporting terrorism and also for libel and slander against the Spanish monarchy, though through his social media messages, according to a copy of the court sentence and a Supreme Court press office statement. He was sentenced to 9 months in jail. Wow, libel and slander against the Spanish. That's bullshit. That is such bullshit. Wow. The Spanish government announced last week that it would remove prison terms for offenses involving freedom of expression. However, it was not clear when the charges will be made. Hasél's Twitter account has been silent since it posted Tuesday that he will be jailed imminently. How can you put someone in prison for expressing their ideas? Gilofre said when asked why she was in attendance on Saturday. "I do not agree with lootings, and there are always people who will take advantage of social movements to cause chaos," says Gilofre. "The protests were peaceful until the police intervened." Again, I want you to pay attention to that part, right? Because it's again, in most cases, most of these protests around the world are peaceful until the jackboots arrive. Most of these protests around the world, even in America, the vast majority, even there have been studies done that show the vast majority of Black Lives Matter protests were peaceful. That is until outside agitators show up and also the police. Outside agitators and the freaking police, they always escalate things. They never de-escalate. They always escalate it. And that's what you're knowing is in there. They're escalating things. They're making things worse. Not better, worse. I do like that she said this. It doesn't because that would demonstrate that my point about a lot of these protests not being, violent until the cops arrive or until outside agitators arrive, that drives my point home even further because you're seeing the exact same thing, the exact same phenomenon happening in other countries. In Gilofre's hometown of Sabadell, a city north of Barcelona, demonstrators were passive and without incident, she added. A much smaller demonstration took place in the Spanish capital, Madrid, where about 100 people chanted for Hasél's freedom. 5 nights of protests. Joan Colette, a 16-year-old student, was protesting in Plaça de Catalunya Saturday night and saw some people split from the main rally group and begin looting. A lot of people are taking advantage. They are not here to protest, he told CNN. They have different motives. Police beat some demonstrators with truncheons and fired some foam balls at others, said Colette, adding that the barricades protesters set up were for protections. "We are tired of people going to prison for just writing something on social media," he said. "This is about the liberty of Pablo, but also Spanish liberty and free speech." So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how the right responds to this because they are saying the exact same thing that we say over here in the West. The exact same thing. So I wonder if the right is going to stand up for her as they stood up for Gina Carano. After footage taken during previous nights showed protesters storming bank branches and others watching street fires as police sirens wailed, Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez condemned the protests on Friday morning. In a full democracy, and Spain's democracy is a full democracy, the use of violence is unacceptable. There is no exception to this rule, he said at the press conference. There is no reason, place, or situation that can justify the use of force. Well, tell your cops that. Tell your cops that. All right? Because again, I don't think that you actually believe that. I don't think you actually believe that.
That's bullshit. Stop lying.
I don't think you actually believe that. Right? However, protesters ignored his warnings at Massas reported burning waste containers and street furniture on Friday, while protesters broke the windows of several businesses in Barcelona. Massas reported similar scenes in Girona, a city in the northwest of Catalonia. Protesters erected barricades at Barcelona landmarks such as Placa de Catalunya and La Rambla, where they threw stones and other objects at police, said Massas. The violence followed similar patterns to the previous 3 nights of protests. So once again, it's very interesting to see the same thing happening across the pond in Spain, where people are, fighting against the freaking power.